happening over there is obviously a genocide and something that I find hard to sleep even thinking about it, you know.
Hospitals are being bombed. It's a war against Hamas, but civilians are targeted.
There was an attack on a hospital that took 500 lives. Roughly 200 of them were minors, right? And Israel has denied responsibility for it, when it is clear who's the perpetrators.
There were doctors killed in the attack. People were taking shelter in the hospital. Families, kids, women and children were taking shelter. Hospitals should be a place for peace, should be a place where you get your treatment. It shouldn't be a place that should be bombed.
They cannot sit there and tell me they are merely defending themselves when they are on occupied and stolen land.
Free, free Palestine! Israel out of Gaza! Israel out of Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Israel out of Gaza!
Israel out of Gaza!
I'm standing in front of Parliament House. I'm in the middle of a pro-Palestine rally. There are heaps of people here, heaps of voices that need exploring, and heaps of people that deserve a platform. So I'm going to go find out what people think of the pro-Palestine rally and see what's happening. Could you tell me a little bit about your sign and why you're protesting today?
Because I stand for humanity and I stand against genocide of any people.
For me right now, it's not about religion, it's not about any of that. It's about human rights. Hezbollah are doing what many other organizations are not. They are standing up for the Palestinian people.
Right now they're stuck in an open air prison with no voice, getting bombarded, and they've got no option. So we want to be their voice. We want to be the ones that speak for them. Right now they don't have a voice.
And no one is blinking or batting an eye. The UN looks at it, America looks at Israel, tries to support them. No one's really helping Palestine. This is a crisis as bad as the Holocaust, you know? How come no one cares?
Netanyahu, who's a far-right leader of the current Israeli government, he's using the Jewish faith as a mechanism to justify the ethnic cleansing of the Palestinian people. And also, fun fact, he's also trying to erode democracy in Israel as well.
What's happened over the last couple of weeks has been, first of all, the murdered Israelis were horrifying. That was just awful. But what's happened since then is state-sponsored terrorism.
It all goes back to an ideology called Zionism, which was formulated by a man called Theodor Herzl. And that ideology, Zionism, says that Palestine is rightfully owned by the Jewish people, but there's already been Palestinians there for thousands of years.
How I think about it is, when something happens like 9/11, it's all about the Muslims. But when something happens to the Muslims, Muslim blood is so cheap. No one cares, no one bats an eye.
Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be free!
And how do you think the bombing was covered in the media? How do you think it was represented?
Well, you got the President of the United States saying it was the other party. It's quite shame to hear that, especially from a president of one of the biggest economies and biggest military power in the world. Yeah, it's just another lie. It's just another lie they're trying to cover up, just like covered for Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, and everything before.
And can you walk me through exactly what you've pasted on the board there?
Yeah, sure. So,
Flag out the way.
so this is a Hezbollah flag.
Yeah.
What about a proper target? What about some Israeli target? What about the Americans? Who's supporting them?
These are like Free Palestine photos.
Sure.
And this pretty much, in my eyes, symbolizes all the oppression and the chaos that is happening in Gaza, and that the Zionist media are trying to silence it.
And how do you think Netanyahu has been represented in the media throughout this crisis?
Favorably. So,
In what manner?
They're giving him the green light to basically erode anyone with a heart.
Oh, the Zionist media usually responsible for trying to paint the idea of Israel's just trying to defend herself. Israel has a right to exist.
Look, it's hard to listen to the media, especially I'm Palestinian and I've got family there. It's hard to listen to the media.
Almost always it's been represented in a completely atrocious way. The Age, for instance, a week ago had as their front page headline, Israel rolls into Gaza. Now what kind of misrepresentation is that?
Whoever knows and listens and sees, they know the truth.
It's actually a birthday present for friends.
Cool.
Out, Israel, out! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free!
For a birthday party or something?
No, it's just overdue.
Oh, okay, cool. And what do you think he's going to think of that?
He's going to love it.
How come?
He loves everything all the soccer, so T6 is a good buy for him.
The mainstream media is pretty much biased towards Israel.
We're just going to roll in there, but as if that's the way you can represent a very complex, contradictory situation. You're saying one side's just going to roll in and, what is it? Annihilate the other, steamroller them, somehow obliterate them?
The Israelis claimed that an errant Islamic Jihad missile hit a hospital, the Al Aqli hospital in Gaza. Now it's been proven by independent sources that that was in fact an Israeli rocket.
Do you have an opinion on the conflict happening outside today?
Sorry, it's a Russian, but I just
Sure. Do you have a favorite bread?
Italian.
Thank you.
In a lot of ways, the media is backed by big monopoly capitalists and with a heavy dose of Zionists amongst them, and it's very hard to cut through this, yeah.
And why do Israeli people think they have a right to the land?
No clue. Actually, I have no clue.
The myth that Israel and Israelis are somehow the victims of Palestinians, when in fact the Palestinians have been displaced, 75th anniversary of Nakba, and the persecution's just relentless.
Do you have any thoughts on this conflict, sir?
No, sorry, no comment.
No worries. Have you been to Guzman and Gomez before?
No.
Do you like Mexican food?
Not really.
What's your favorite cuisine?
I'm from India, so I love Indian food.
Chicken biryani?
Yeah.
How spicy do you like your Indian food?
Very spicy.
Chicken tikka masala?
Yeah, definitely.
Israel is strategically important to the West. It's their state in the Middle East, and they can't afford to let that go.
And you described it yourself, a complex issue. This might be oversimplifying things, but how does this conflict end? What do you think the solution is?
Well, the two-state solution is almost certainly completely gone. So we hopefully will have a democratic joint land where both Israelis who have got a Jewish background and Palestinians can have a democratic equal rights state. So apartheid's got to stop. It's an apartheid system at the moment, yeah.
Israel only wants a two-state solution because if it's one state, then they're worried they'll become outnumbered by Palestinians.
We want people to engage with the local members, their federal counterparts, whatever it happens to be, in a very straightforward way.
Read history, educate yourself before you make a decision or before you talk, because sometimes hate talks, they do harm, they do cause harm. We need to be very extra careful of what we say.
You know, all we can do is send our prayers to them, come out on days like this, support them, do whatever we can for the brothers, you know?
It's only up to us to basically show the world what's really happening, what's going on. Otherwise the media will deceive you, tell you all these things are happening, tell you the occupier is protecting themselves, the resistance shouldn't be there. Anytime there's an occupying force, there will be a resistance. Free Palestine.
He was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?